So welcome to the Green Office Partner Advanced Training. Like I said, we're going to do, you can feel free to type in the chat questions during the training, and at the end we'll be doing answers. Some things that we'll be going over, this is the C605, and we'll be going over a bunch of things on the machine. I'd like to start first with the scan to email feature, which is going to be right here. We'll just zoom into that. Scan to email. This is where you'll enter in your email address that you'd like to put in. And then right here in the next section will be your subject line, where you can change your subject of the email to be whatever you like. Instead of having a bunch of emails come in that say Xerox scan, Xerox scan, Xerox scan. You can also change the file name. And then you can also change the type of file right here. As you can see, we're doing a PDF as of right now. You can change it to JPEG, TIFF, etc. And then down here, I call this the magical more button. You can hit the more button. Since we're already doing a PDF, you can make the PDF searchable so that it will basically scan the PDF for plain type text. And when you open it in Adobe, then you can search through the document. So if you've got a 50-page document that you're trying to find a revision in, you can search the word revision and it'll pop up in there. You can also password protect it right from the machine. So if you're sending it directly to a client and it needs to be protected, you can password protect it right from here, and then do it over a phone conversation or how have you to give them the password for the document. And then you've got combined files. What that's going to do is if you scan multiple pages, it's going to put them all into one PDF. If you take combined files off, it will scan each page as a separate attachment within the email. And that's the magical more button. Another nice feature that some of these will have, depending on your model, is the preview function. That'll actually display on the screen little sets of the pages that you scanned that you can review and then hit send after that. And you'll see that the send button changes to preview. You've got your two-sided scanning. Your original type is going to be like a quality setting. Text and photo is your base. If you need more quality or you're scanning an actual photo, you can select photo. And that is not available while searchable is enabled. Your lightening and darkening. Original size, original orientation. Another nice feature is remove blank pages. So if you're scanning a two-sided document and some of the backs are blank, you can remove those blank pages out of the document so you don't have blank pages within the PDF that you're creating. Reset at the bottom will reset all these things back to default in this app. And that's the email app. The next thing I'd like to go over is going to be the drums and toner on this machine, how to change those. So here you've got your toner is in the front of this machine, and it just pulls straight out. And then on the side of the machine, I'm going to come around here to this side. You can open up this tray. This is your waste container. This is where all the extra toner is going to go. That just pops out like so. And you can see that, that's where the waste container goes. And then down in this corner right here is a little eye where you can see when that starts to fill up. Also, these are your drums right here. And to change the drums, you release them and pull them straight out, and then you can replace the drum like so. They are color specific on this model. Some models may not be color specific at first, but once you set them in a color, you want to leave them in a color. You also have your transfer belt roller up top here. You'll have to pull all the drums out and then release these tabs on each side to pull out your transfer belt. And that clips back in like so. Now going back to the front of the machine, we'll go into the support sections of the machine. So you have the device button, which is a pretty key button. The device button will tell you about the device simply by clicking about. You'll see that when you click about, you have a lot of information in here on the device name, the serial number, asset tag, the IP address, and everything like that will be in there. Also, down below here, you've got a support button. And what that's going to do is basically give you options for print defects, print quality issues. So if you go into the support pages, if you're having a ghosting print, that will basically print out this page that you can see. If there's ghosting at the top of the page, it does a print, and then if it is ghosting, you'll see it at the bottom of the page. As you can see, this machine is not leaving ghosting marks. What causes ghosting is if things are sticking, toner is sticking in there and it's relaying down the same image. The next print quality issues is repeating defects. That'll print out a page like so. On this page, what this page does is it sends this page and then a bunch of other color pages of each color. And if you see certain lines in certain areas of the page, you can match this page up to it like so. And if you've got a mark here, here, and here, you know that your drum cartridge needs to be replaced. If you've got a mark here, 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 etc., the transfer belt, transfer roller, and the fuser. So it gives you a little key. If you're seeing repeating defects on the pages, you'll know which part most likely is going to need to be replaced in the machine. And that is the repeating defects. There are a number of other things in here that different reports and things like that, but those are the two main things that you're going to use for defects in printing. There's also color calibration. There's an automatic color calibration. So if you click on that, you'll see that tap start to run the color calibration. This being automatic, the machine's going to do the color calibration here. And of course, it's not going to take very long. And it's successfully completed. You also have different image positions and things like that, scan color consistency, different adjustments and things like that as well, all in that support button on the VersaLinks. The next thing we'd like to go over is the address book on the machine. Within the address book, which is right here, you can add names simply by pressing the plus, add a contact, and then you'll enter first name, last name, and a company name if you wish. Then from there, you'll add email address, type in the email address you want to add. Another thing I like to point out within here is this little star that's crossed out. If you click that star, that basically makes it a global favorite, so that that name will pop up immediately on the machine. You can add their fax number, scanning, and stuff like that, all within the address book. You can also click on a user that's already existing and delete the contact. This is available on some of the machines. Depending on your model that you're using, you may not even be able to add or remove people in the address book. On some of the Alta links, you'll need to do that through the web GUI, which I'll show you as well after this on how to do the web GUI address book. And now we'll go into some more of the PC advanced settings on the print driver, the address book, and things like that. So we're going to switch over to the PC. On the computer here, we're going to open up the control panel, which on Windows 10, you can simply go hit your start button down there, type in the word control, and then control panel will come up. Then once your control panel is opened up, you got view devices and printers. This is the C605. You'll right click on that and then go to printer properties, which is about halfway down. One thing that I do want to point out is that there is also properties down at the bottom, not to be confused with that, or printing preferences. And printer properties will give you the more advanced print driver settings. So there's two ways to go into this. Under the general tab, you can do preferences and it'll bring up your driver. If you're in a print server environment, that is the way you're going to have to change your defaults. If you're not in a print server environment and the driver is installed locally, under the advanced tab, printing defaults is another spot you can go. This will be more of a core way to change the driver defaults. But for today's purposes, we'll just go into the general tab and then preferences. That'll bring up your driver. So on this particular machine, you can see that we have two different types of paper loaded that you can select from. We'll start from the top here though and go over normal printing. So right now it's just set to normal print. Whatever settings you have down here is gonna be the settings that you're gonna use for your print. The next phase would be a secure print. Secure print basically is going to be a password type print. All the machines have this built in, where when you select that, it's going to pop up a box for a passcode. Once you type in that passcode, that will be your passcode for the machine, so that anytime you select secure print, that passcode will be the one you use to retrieve your jobs off of the actual machine. And then the next thing would be sample set. If you're printing 500 copies of something, what sample set will do is basically print out the first copy of that complete set as a sample, and then it will hold the rest of the job, and then you can release it later. Another thing I wanted to go over was save job. With save job, what that will do is actually print directly to the machine's hard drive, and it'll save a job. So like a lot of people will find it useful if you've got like a job applications or things like that that you're constantly printing out from your computer. You can actually save them on the printer, and then you never even have to touch your computer. Maybe you have some sort of bill of lading form or something like that, or some sort of form that you're constantly printing out. You can actually save it on the printer and then print that blank form for somebody to fill out. Onto the paper type, size, and color. Like I said earlier, you do see that we do have a cardstock loaded in one of the trays and a plain white 8.5 by 11 in the other. This is a good way to see that your printer is set up correctly with the right paper as well. If you have something in there where you see like red paper and it's some sort of other type and you know that it's plain white, you'll know that there's a setting on the printer itself that would need to be changed. Obviously you have your two-sided and single-sided printing. You can either pull down here or simply click on this little icon and it will select through all of the different types of features on all of these. So here you've got single-sided, double-sided, and then flipping on the short edge of the page. So it'll be a top, you'd staple it at the top to flip up. If you do have a finisher on your machine, that will show up here. If not, this will not be here. But for finishing, you can select different options here. This one simply just staples one staple in the corner. Like I said, you can also click right here to change that, quick change. Next is your color setting. Xerox black and white. It can be a little confusing at times. Black and white is either off or on. So you have to kind of reverse your thought process on that because you're either thinking it's color or not. The easy way that I like to think of it is that if this box is color, it's color. If that box is black and white, it's black and white. That's why I just click on the box. Your print qualities, you've got standard, which is what your standard printing, what it should come out as. You can do an enhanced setting, which is gonna give you a little more color and things like that. And then the photo mode is gonna lay down more toner and everything like that and give you probably your best quality if you're gonna be printing out some sort of flyer or something like that where you need the most quality. Then you also have the output destination. If your machine has multiple output trays, you can select it to go to the top tray, the main tray. Some of them will have a side left-hand side tray, etc. Another cool feature in the print driver is the save settings here. So it should be on your driver defaults, and these will be what you have your driver defaults set to. When you open this up, you have some predefined, Earth Smart printing, things like that. And basically what these do is change all these settings for you. If we open up Word and we go to File Print, and we have this printer selected right here, and we go to our printer properties, you'll see that the print driver pops up. So within a program, you can see this save setting is Microsoft Word defaults. So if you're in Word and you always are printing with one staple, you're always doing color, you want it in photo mode, etc., you can save those as Microsoft Word defaults. Then every time you print out of Microsoft Word, it'll pull these defaults. Same thing with Excel, Adobe, etc. When you open up the program and you go into those print properties, you'll see these save settings in there, and you can select, hey, I want to do, maybe I don't want to staple, and maybe I want to do black and white, and I just want standard because I'm in Word. So I'm going to do standard printing, black and white, no stapling, single-sided. Let's do two-sided. And then my standard 8.5 by 11 prints. Now what I'll do is save as Microsoft Word defaults right here. Now these settings will be the settings I use every time that I open up Microsoft Word. It looks like Colleen has said, can you save a form for everyone to be able to print? So yeah, basically what I'll do is I'll do a quick demo here for you of a save job. I'm going to name the job just a demo test. Okay. And then I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to hit print. Now what's going to happen is it's going to look like it's printing, but it's not really going to come out of the machine. What it did is it went to the actual machine and stored it there. Let's see here. On the machine itself, we'll open it up here. And I'll just open up the control panel, which is not enabled. You know, we'll flip back to the video real quick. Yep. All right, so we're back at the machine here. And what you would then do is go to the jobs button. And then you're going to see save jobs. And you'll see the little 1 there. That means that it does have 1 job that's saved in there. Then I can pull up that save job and it's demo test. Now I can print this at will whenever I want. It's going to save it indefinitely. And when you click on that, how many copies do you want? I'll only do 1. I'll hit OK, and it's going to print that. Now you can also delete it right from here as well. And there we have our text document. All right. So in the machine web page, you can see a number of different things as well. You can see your toner levels, your paper trays, but we were going to go over the address book as well. Within the machine address book, you can see basically it's very similar to the actual control panel. Your first name, last name, global favorite is the one thing that I like to always tick. And then basically when you do global favorite, it's going to favorite all of these things in here. And that's what that does. So then I would type in my email address and then hit OK, and it would add them in. We'll go into my existing one here. You'll see the delete button right there that you can delete it. And are you sure? No, we'll leave me in there. All right. The final thing I'd like to go over is our knowledge base. So if you go to our website, greenofficepartner.com, you'll see over here you have the knowledge base. That brings you up here. This has every series of machine in there. For instance, we were on the C600 series, the C605. So we'd click on that. You've got some quick guides, some resources. There is also training. So right here, we'll open up that training. And you'll see there's short videos here that have, you know, your home button, reset button, all of that. I think it totals to about 15 minutes or so of videos. It's basically what I would do on site when I show up and do the training on the machines. This hits just about everything. You also have a search box here too. That you can search different things. So if I want to search home, we'll see if that comes up. I can't click on that right now because I have stuff in the way. Yep. And there it is, Xerox home button. All right. Go back to the knowledge base, and you can see all the different machines there. And that will conclude our training portion of the session here. Are there any questions that anybody has on anything we've gone over today? Please let me know and send a chat to us. Or if you want to unmute, you can feel free to do that. Okay. Also like to point out our support section on our webpage in the About Us. This will direct you to the knowledge base as well. You can submit support requests with a message. Also has our remote access tool section where we can help you out with support and all of that. So if you have any questions, feel free to submit them in there as well, and we'll be happy to help. If there's no questions, I'd like to thank everybody for joining today. My name is Ryan, and I'm sure I may see you all out there somewhere. Thanks. Have a great day.